This is the Detroit Sports Podcast Network.
Good afternoon, degenerates. I am the Doc, John Macaroon. Joining me, my guy Phil, here to break down the world of gambling. Let's check in on his bankroll, see if he's been laying down the action in the wild NBA. Look, if I was ever going to dump popcorn on someone's head, it'd be Phil's, because there are times when you're like, look, give me a play, and then he gives you the wrong play, and then at time he's like, bro, I'm about to hit a 19 parlay, and you're like, where's the text? You send me all this stupid ass shit, and you're not sending me the 19 parlays you're trying that I can try to match off of. What up, partner? What's happening?
None, dog. All's good, baby. All's good. Yo, I got a JOB now, so I'm going to have to figure this out, but everything's good, brother.
Oh, the government got you down? You're down to a 9-to-5er again?
Yes, sir. You know it.
Oh, when you start?
June 8th.
June 8th. Okay, we can always work around it, baby, to find time to record and make a phone call. It can be when you're driving to and from the job on the mean streets of Detroit. We'll figure it out.
Yes, sir. What's cracking, buddy?
It's all good, man. My bankroll's good. Baseball's been treating me pretty good, man. I think that you can really, in terms of, this is the first year I've ever bet baseball like this, and just make a couple little bets, money line, and you look at the starting pitching, you look at team ERAs, you look at the last 10, and betting the Tigers has been pretty fair because they've been playing better baseball as of late. You knew that Cleveland was going to curb stomp them, so I made a little bit of scratch betting the 4 games, lost 1, but Cleveland worked the Detroit Tigers, and the Tigers damn near got no hit, and it was crazy in regards to what was going down there, man. Betting against the Tigers, you can make some money.
Yeah, like I said, them for sure. Look out for the Mets, too. You can do the same thing with the Mets, especially with them sitting down the ground. Like, the Mets are pretty bad themselves, so...
How's your action been? What have you been looking at?
Up and down, man. Up and down. Like you said, I was down to 0. I got it back up to 300. I got some sneaky action on Tim Tebow on DraftKings. Over 13 yards was plus money for the year. Over half a touchdown was plus money for the year. So I put 20 and 10 on him. Sneak in a little bit. Ain't gonna hurt, right? He's gonna play, right?
Man, you're gonna count on Tim Tebow making the roster and doing some things?
Yep. One catch. Hey, Urban Meyer's his boy, dude. All I need is one catch for 13 yards and a touchdown. Game over.
Wow. Man, see, that's the toughest thing, because I feel like, and it's wrong to say, but you just get a sense that they're doing this as a money grab for training camp, get as much attention as humanly possible. Because if you're a member of that roster and Tim Tebow makes the 53, how do you then look at the coach and say that you're putting together the best possible football team for us to compete in the tough league? Because Tim Tebow is a guy that hasn't stepped foot on the field in 9 years. All of a sudden, he's going to earn a roster spot. I mean, do you think in any way, and I think there may be some truth to this, any way that they're doing this as a way to distract all the attention that would show up on Trevor Lawrence, being that he's the number 1 guy, and you can have this fair distraction, and you can put a couple bucks in the coffers because the man just sells jerseys. It's sick in that this is like one of those situations where you know they're doing it for the money. The talent is not there. He hasn't played the position in a decade, and you know he's not going to do a whole heck of a lot. I mean, yeah, he could get one catch, but what a wild story with this Tim Tebow situation.
You know what, dude? And like I said, the thing is that you're right. He hasn't played in almost a decade. For some reason, it's his personality. I think, like you said, Urban Meyer would be someone that knows, especially with his time in Florida. Like, he's a person you want on the roster, dude. Now, personally, I'm really glad that he's not getting a chance to play quarterback, even though, hey, he's got more playoff wins than Matthew Stafford, more wins than Tony Romo, Dak Prescott. You know what I mean? So, I mean, from that perspective, you want his personality, you want his mindset, you want a guy that's going to come in, going to be a positive influence on the team because he's overtly positive. and you want somebody that's going to come in and change the culture. A culture change was needed down there. So I don't know. I totally agree that it could be a money grab, but I do feel that there is some validity to them trying to work him onto this team, just from his experience and the way he goes about carrying himself.
Okay, so let's reset it. You put some money down on Tim Tebow to record some stats. What are the bets, and what could be the return if he does just produce for one game?
I got him at, I would have to go in and double check, but I believe I got him at plus 159 for over 12.5 yards for the season. Okay,
just one catch. You just got to find him one time.
Well, no, just 12.5 yards. Dude.
Yeah, just got to find him for one catch. And that's it. And
then I got him at plus 120 something, I believe. This was all on DraftKings to score a touchdown.
Wow. Okay, I think that's very fair. It's one of those bets that you could make. Now, did you get any taste? Did anybody hit on Phil Mickelson winning the PGA? Because that's a gambling situation that is such a great story for those that put the money down. Because of the fact it came out of nowhere, no one's going to expect a 50-year-old to potentially take down the PGA Championship. But in the world of gambling, you saw it. Darren Rovell is a great Twitter page to follow. He goes out there and he constantly checks in on big bets. A couple people just went on Twitter and reached out and said, hey, yeah, I just kind of felt that day I wanted to, before the tournament, put $100 down on Phil, and boom, it's going to get you a couple grand. And you realize, man, you could have made some serious money if you sprinkled $20 across 5 wild golfers. But the Phil Mickelson golf story, man, is one for the ages. I thought it was great in terms of the story for the PGA Tour, and then the gambling is so sick. One of the longest odds in golf comes through, and people would have made some serious scratch.
$5 on DraftKings, and I saw it. Somebody, I saw a pic of it. $5 on DraftKings. He was plus 20,000 or plus 25,000. Dude hit for $1,255.
$1,000 just for $5, just to throw it in there. Just throw 20 on a couple of long shots. Those are the bets that make gambling really fun, because nobody expects it. It's just really one of those long shots. It makes it's a thrill ride.
Yo, the books in Vegas got crushed, dude. He crushed them. Like, I think someone took him for one of the books for $300K because of that shit.
Yeah, no, you take a loss on that tournament because of the fact that nobody saw this coming, and people were making relatively small bets. Like, you're going to bet 20, 50. Those are a lot of the bets that people make. And have you seen any lately that you say, well, it could be wild, but there's maybe a chance you could do some damage? Do you periodically look at the wildest of wild long shots? Because that's the funnest part of betting, is when you take, okay, let's maybe take a $100 win, take $5 and sprinkle it across some wild ass shit like the Lions making the NFC title game.
Yeah, absolutely. Shit, there was just look at some of the odds. Like, you could put a few team parlay, a few conference winners for the upcoming NCAA football season. You could put a couple of those together at plus money, because everybody's plus money right now. If you pick 3 teams, like say you put $10 on it, you could probably make a couple grand.
Man, good stuff there. What's the longest shot you ever got in terms of maybe making a $5, $10 bet and you just threw it down really with no expectation of winning, but then it came back and got you a couple $100?
To start off on DraftKings, I got Mike Evans to score the touchdown in the NFC Championship game. I got him at like plus 1250 with an odds boost.
Oh, nice.
I put $25 down and got like $370 back.
Nice. So how did you get up to 300? What was your technique, and where are you at now currently?
Well, like I said, I hit a couple. I hit 1 3-leg parlay, and then I think I hit another small parlay, and those got me like $170, $180. So, I mean, to be honest with you, my record hasn't been, and unfortunately, I haven't been able to put any time into like doing research or studying right now, just because of everything that's been going on personally. So I've been trying to. I'm keeping an eye out, trying to take advantage of some spots and stuff here and there. But otherwise, like you said, I just hit a couple small bets, and then that's been about it, man.
What was your thinking behind the parlays? Just stuff that you did get a chance to research?
Yeah. Like you said, I took about 20 minutes. I tried to piece together some odds that could give me a little bit of a bigger return. And then, just went from there. Trying to really, I personally would really like to delve into the player props, the hits and the RBIs in MLB right now, because man, if you can put just like a 3 or 4 guy parlay together with hits and strikeouts, or like hits and runs batted in, man, like you could really put $5 up and pop off $200 if you hit the right one, man.
Nice. Okay, let's peek at the NBA a little bit. Give me your thoughts on the Knicks and the Hawks. It seems like a good series. Game 3's today. Hawks coming home. I feel like the Hawks probably money line in their return to the playoffs. I think that the series is going to go as far as it can go. I think it could go the distance. It's going to be a competitive series. It was nice to see the Garden rocking, and obviously with everything going on there, I think that for Trae Young, I mean, who spits on an NBA player these days? I mean, come on,
dude, are you, bro? This shit's like, not to copy Westbrook, this shit is getting out of hand, dude. Like, enough, man. You would not. I promise you, they would not do this shit to them if they were on the street. They wouldn't, because they would literally get their ass kicked, man. Like, it's so ridiculous, dude. Like, people take for granted that they're still human beings, dude. You ain't gotta like them, but you still gotta pay, be somewhat respectful. And unfortunately, if they did this shit on the street, NBA player is gonna blast them in the mouth. They're gonna get sued then. It's bullshit. It's so unfair, man.
And it's so interesting and intriguing to think about. You're going to dump popcorn on one of the best players in the world's head, and you don't expect that every camera's going to slow-mo your head, is going to figure out who you are within a day or two. And obviously the guy that spit on Trae Young is gone now. We'll never see the Garden again. You get banned. It's not worth it. I mean, look, you got to be mindful that if you can't control how much booze you're drinking, or if the impulse comes to say, oh, let me dump this popcorn on someone's head, you saw if there was not the strength of the security guard, he may have come into the stands and ended you. He would have wrecked you, and he would have been in the right. This has happened before. Players will go into the stand and they'll do some damage.
Yeah, I just it ruins the game too, man. These distractions are unnecessary. I mean, you remember Malice at the Palace, bro. Unfortunately, Detroit started that shit, man.
We're always starting that shit.
So I don't get it, man. You know what? Like you said, you can have your feelings. You cannot like somebody. I'll level with you, dude. I know everybody thought Michael Jordan was the greatest. I'm not a big fan of his. I never have been, never will be. I didn't appreciate his game. I thought him and Kobe are pretty similar to me. They're scorers, dude. Good shit. But I'm not going to go up there and spit on him or do I might boo him and crap. But I mean, give me a break, dude. That's about it.
Yeah, absolutely. And you look at the Celtics and the Nets. The Nets lead 2-0. Going back to the Boston Garden TD Center there, I think that the Nets are looking real good. I mean, Blake Griffin throwing it down, over a dozen dunks. I like what's going on there. What are you seeing with the Nets and their potential?
But Boston, I mean, the fact that Tatum bailed them out and got them into the playoffs, good for him, man. But they've got no chance, dude. They just with Jaylen Brown going down. I don't know. It just seems like they've literally got no chance. I think the 8-point spreads are being generous. I mean, all those games, it should be a sweep, and that should win by double digits in every one of the games, dude.
Okay, so Celtics Nets tonight from TD Garden, 8:30. You would sprinkle if you were going to make a bet, you'd put it on the Nets on the money line.
Yeah, I take the Nets minus the point.
Oh, they covered. Nets to cover too, huh? Nets money line and Nets
yeah.
to cover the points. It's win by double digits, huh?
Yeah, like so just the way they've been playing, like they're in. I mean, look at the first game. What did Harden didn't do anything, and they still crushed them. You know,
Yeah.
shit. Joe Harris steps up and gives you 25. Like that's bad news, dude. When their role players are stepping up and giving you that many points, like Tatum's literally going to have to go for 40 every game just to try and keep it close. And if he doesn't, then they're really screwed.
Yeah, and you the series that's already over, basically Saturday 1:30 probably ends it. Milwaukee goes on the road to take on the Heat. I think you probably make good money there for the sweep.
Yeah, like you said, I mean, once again, I'm not really certain what happened down there, but like, I mean, Milwaukee's just absolutely like dominated them, man. Like that's been terrible. It's crazy, dude. Yeah. I mean, they were in the final. They were in the finals last year, and it's like the wheels fell off.
Yep, and then the Lakers doing their business. I think that they're going to eventually win the series, but the Suns could get some games. Lakers lead 2-1.
Yeah, you know what? The way Ayton and Booker have been playing, you know, is encouraging. With Chris Paul being a little banged up, and you know what he did to help turn them around, that's obviously impacting them. I'll level with you. I actually, when that game was close, I looked at that line and I'm like, man, 7. I'm like, the Lakers have been. I mean, the Suns have been playing them pretty good. So I took some in-game action and got them at +6, and I ended up losing last night. So
yeah,
you know, but I didn't wager too much on it. Like, I mean, here's the thing. You know what? Everybody can say what they want about LeBron. If those guys are healthy, like the fact that they're the 7th seed doesn't really matter, dude. They're legitimately the 1 or 2 seed in that conference. Like, I mean, I don't care who's got home court. If you look at the rest of the teams in that conference. I would think that Utah's somewhat similar to them from a build perspective. If the Lakers can control Mitchell, like that should be I think that would be an easy out. I really don't see anybody. Like, I mean, we haven't even talked about the Clippers. What the hell's going on there, dude?
It's Luka Doncic. I mean, 39 points. It's one of those things where sometimes you can have a collection of talent like the Clippers, and they've obviously tried to put together a roster over the years. They've consistently come up short, but you realize that you sometimes you just come up against a schedule that's going to be a nightmare. Luka Doncic is just unbelievable, bro. 39 points. He could single-handedly propel the Dallas Mavericks into the next round, and you saw what he was able to do to get the Mavericks a 2-0 lead.
Yeah, you know what? I mean, I'll be honest with you. I know you should probably bet the Clippers because I can't see them going down 3-0, even though they're on the road. The problem is that I don't want to touch it. I don't want to touch any part of that game just because the Clippers should win. Should, I believe. Just because they've got enough talent. But I don't, like I said, the way Luka's been playing, man, it's something I would just prefer to stay away from right now because it's just too close to call.
I think the other one that's going to be fun too is the Grizzlies and the Jazz 1-1 series, and let's see where this one progresses to.
You know what? The way Ja played, when he gives you 47, dude, and they still lose,
right?
I mean, so Memphis, at least Memphis has got something to look forward to from that in that regards. I mean,
what do you think the Jazz's chances are out there in the West? I like their lineup. I like the way they collectively play. They do things the right way, and on any given night, they got guys that can go for 35 plus.
You know what? They've got some talent, but once again, you put them up against the Lakers. If Andre Drummond and Gobert cancel each other out, then you gotta rely on scoring from Connolly and from Mitchell. Okay, who's gonna guard AD?
Yeah, matchups, right?
It's all matchups, dude. Like you said, don't get me wrong. What Utah has done this year is great, and Gobert's a stud, just from a defensive perspective. But if Andre Drummond's out on the floor, and he's going to have to play some big minutes to take away from, AD, from Gobert being put on AD. If he's out there playing big minutes, they're screwed, dude. Like, 80's such a mismatch for basically any five, except probably Gobert right now. Jokic could check him too, but anybody else out in the West, he's going to be hard cover. And then, like you said, if LeBron's healthy, I know there's a lot of people that want to disrespect him and talk bad about his game. If LeBron's healthy and he can give you 20 a night, 10 a night, 20 and 10 and some rebounds, it's just bad news, man. If they're healthy, it all depends on if they're healthy. If they're healthy, they're going to be very tough to beat.
Yeah, Lakers Nets would be juicy as hell, and would produce some games where we'd have to get out there and watch them because it would be competitive and it would be two hungry teams, and I think it would go the distance and might be one of the all-time great finals. I hope it comes to fruition. So before we get into one of the wilder stories you're going to hear in gambling, what did you make of the play-in stuff? Do you want to see it again? Was it something where you said too gimmicky, or are you on board with it because of the fact that, it sucks that you lost the Warriors, but they probably weren't going to be competitive anyway?
That's the thing. I'm okay with that because had everything went down how it was supposed to, the Lakers would have still been the Lakers would have still got in. And the Warriors would have got in. But the Warriors would have got smacked around. No offense. I understand Steph Curry's probably going to go down as the greatest shooter of all time. When they needed him to show up, I don't care if he gave them 39 points. He didn't get them into the playoffs. If you're supposed to be the MVP, that's what you're supposed to do. That you're supposed to carry them. Like, he would not have won any titles in my mind if LeBron had just one guy in the 2016 season and if Durant hadn't come. He is not. Unfortunately, this isn't like back in the day where the little guys could lead a team. He can't lead a team. Just look at Kyrie. Look at Kyrie for the Nets, man. Kyrie's not going to get it done by himself. They're both very good players. They're not going to get it done by themselves. It's just not going to happen. They're not big enough. They can't. They can take over a game scoring. What about defensively, man?
You're absolutely right. I think that it sounds like you're seeing the potential. You're seeing the Lakers have the potential to go all the way, huh?
Like you said, it is what it is, man.
It is what it is. I know it might not appease a lot of players, but I think that the Lakers do have a lot, and they got a lot of talent, and they're hungry. And LeBron, when he steps up, can do a lot of good things. And despite what many people will say, LeBron and the Lakers, when they turn it on, bro, it's night. Forget it, like you said.
Well, shit, look at AD the last two games. What's he got? Almost 60 points?
Yeah. Right.
You know what I mean? I mean, like I said, I don't have the box scores right off the top of my head, but he said after game one, he's like, I got to play better. That's bad news, man. If he's owning up, that number one, that means he's pissed off. Right. And number two, that means that you can guarantee that he's gonna. Dude, look how many fouls, how many free throws he's got. That means he's getting to the rim. He's getting in the paint. Once again, he's too big. He's too athletic, and he can just do so much. You have two of the best players in the world. If they get just a little bit of help from the role players, it's bad news, man.
Absolutely. Now, an interesting situation emerged when you realize that, people definitely boast about their wins, but how often do they talk about their losses? ESPN analyst, a broadcaster, I don't know if you heard the story, Dan Dockich, is now driving for a food delivery service because he lost money in the NCAA tournament. And here's the story. So here's what happened. He's a blue-collar guy. His wife called him an idiot. He lost a chunk of money in the NCAA tournament. So did he go and chase his losses? No. He went and now has been side hustling, delivering food to people, and people are seeing him going, wait a minute, aren't you the guy on ESPN? He's like, yeah. He's proud of it. He's like, look, I can't be that stupid, so I'm going to humble myself. I'm going to get out there, and I'm going to work in order to recoup the losses that I had. But if you're Dan Dockich and you're an ESPN analyst, you shouldn't admit that because that kind of basically says that you're covering a sport you know jack shit about. Because if you can't, if you're an analyst at the top of the game at the top company and you can't break even or get a little bit ahead, you might want to put down the microphone and start studying, bitch.
Yeah, I would. I'm gonna have to agree with you there, buddy. That's definitely not a good look for him. So,
but I think it's one in which you're going to hear more of over the years. The calls to the gambling hotline have skyrocketed. People are gambling and they're actually losing. And so for Dan Dockich, that's not a good look when you're a pro because they pay you good money. You're not getting $50,000 a year to call games at the highest level. So you need to put that scratch away or just bet $20. What are you doing?
Yeah, well, that's the thing, dude. You know what? I'll be honest with you. Now, I probably like to bet a little bit here and there, but I like to. I'm never ever gonna put myself in a spot to go broke. Like I'm not gonna wager something where I gotta go out and pick up another job. You know what I mean? Like I'm gonna try to do some things to get myself in a situation to build my bankroll up. But I'm never going to be so risk adverse that I'm going to blow it all unless I'm playing blackjack.
What's going on with blackjack? Where's your leaks there? You like to get after it?
Yeah, like I said, I need to be a little more disciplined in spots. There's moments where I'll have the poof moment, like a volcano just erupting, and basically once that happens, it's no good for anybody. So,
night, forget about it. All right. Tell me a play or two, put some scratch in my pocket, bro. Let me get a little bit ahead. What is a play or two that you like that can get some scratch in people's bank accounts?
Well, like I said, I am totally on board with Brooklyn. Brooklyn, I mean, if you want to be safe, you can go ahead and take the money line. Otherwise, I would definitely take the points tonight. And then I was looking at, that the New York Atlanta game. I think that series is going to be a lot closer. I actually wouldn't mind taking the Knicks plus the points, man. Both those games, Trey hit that floater to win game one. Could they win by 2? Then the Knicks played pretty good. I don't see that series getting so out of hand where any one of them's completely running away with it. So 4.5, 5 points. I mean, with the Knicks, I would be definitely willing to take some action on that.
Okay, so your two plays are the Knicks Friday night and the Nets minus the 8.
Yes, sir.
All right, bet responsibly. And those are Phil's plays of the week for Friday night. Hopefully you guys put it down, make a little bit of money. Make sure you follow the network at Detroit Podcast. Make sure you interact. If you hit a big score, if Phil is giving you the right advice, let us know. I think it's a fair play to bet the Nets. I think it's no big secret there. The 8 points, it'd be interesting to see if there's any desperation mode out of the Knicks. But we'll see. Friday night makes it real interesting to watch the NBA playoffs. Thanks, Phil. Thanks again.
John,
yep, it was good,
always
man.
a pleasure, brother.
Absolutely.